This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. And this murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it. Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Damn it.
Oh no, not another one.
Oh my God, it's Saint
Peter.
Peter. I was gonna say Peter. Hi, how's it going? I am here for heaven.
Okay, let's check the book. That's a interesting shirt you got there, bud.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Yeah, I pretty much worship the guy, so you know.
You're not in here, bud.
I'm in there. No, I'm in there.
I'm sorry.
I gave to charity. My guy, even up here, okay? Thoughts and prayers aren't worth a shit. On earth, time is money, and thoughts and prayers take a lot of time. Okay, but I really cared about the people who were in my orbit. I wanted them to feel the light of God when they were around me always.
It looks like here on December 12th, you tweeted, I hope all liberal die and eat I hope their mothers you I will kill you all. Okay, so that does sound a little bit like me, but Jesus died for my sins. You're just gonna throw his efforts away? I wish that there was some way that I could quantify to you how much he regrets that decision now. It's not of your world. It's just because it's just, you know, so it's just a lot of regret about that. Okay, you know what? Our people are already under attack. You don't need to do this. And also, you. I'm taking my business, like my soul business, whatever you would want to call this, elsewhere. Thoughts and prayers.
Hello and welcome to another video. Yes, I'm in vacations right now, but I just wanted to bring you another video. I just don't want to do the reaction part of the video, but definitely MAGA is crying. All my friends, they are MAGA, they are going crazy out of their minds. They just like crying. They just like, he was just such a good man. He was better than Jesus. They are just going. It's like, I just don't want to laugh, but it's just like a, really? He was just better than Jesus. Just Jesus and him. He's the only one. He's the Son of God. They are almost like that. Almost like so close. They're like, he is the Son of God. He's just the best of the best. He was just such a good person. He was just such a good Christian. And I just was looking at the pictures. I have another friend that she posted some pictures of him, you know, embracing all these crazy people. They had do so many things that are bad, but they are like pro Second Amendment. Oh, it's just terrible. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Comment, subscribe. Okay, comment, subscribe. Help us to support liberal media. Help us to support and grow my channel. Thank you so much. Bye.
I truly hate giving these white supremacists any type of airtime, but this guy here is really getting on my nerves, this Charlie Kirk dude. So I have to give him a clap back for this video he posted.
Black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. For example, black people can come up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did, so what are you gonna do, cancel me? Black people are much easier to be able to say that black individuals, despite being 13% of the American population, commit 55% of the murders. Most white people say that at a job, they would get fired for being a racist. I don't care because I say whatever I want.
Oh, bless your little colonizer heart. You really climbed on the internet and opened your pale mouth and decided to rewrite history in real time like the rest of us haven't been wide awake. The audacity to claim black people have more intellectual freedom while simultaneously gaslighting the entire globe into believing your fragility is under attack. Now that's rich. Irony is so thick, and it might as well pay for reparations. But I'm going to reveal the lie and hypocrisy behind the Olympics that you just won the new gold medalist for. You say black people can talk about black issues, but white people can't. Well, sweetheart, when y'all own CNN, Fox, Time Magazine, Hollywood, Disney, and the banks, and every Ivy League endowment, maybe, just maybe, you can sit out for just one conversation. And while you're pretending to be gagged, your people are in every boardroom, courtroom, war room, media room, pushing propaganda like it's your birthright. If you're so silent, how come the world speaks your language, worships your whiteness, and mimics your mediocrity in music, fashion, and culture? But I'm going to drop those receipts, the historical Holocaust y'all don't want us to talk about. Let's get into these statistics, since you love to throw out black crime rates around like white folks aren't the original terrorists. Let's talk about genocide. 100+ million indigenous people murdered globally via colonization. And how about slavery? Over 12 million Africans stolen, tortured, sold as properties, built your banks, White House, legacy wealth. And what about these serial killers? Oh, you don't want to talk about that, because statistically, over 76% of serial killers are in the U.S. are white. And how about school shooters? Yeah, those white boys, it's about 90% of them were school shooters, right? Oh, and let's not forget global extinction. Yeah, nearly every animal now endangered or extinct, white-led colonizers hunted for sport, fashion, and science. Yeah. And what about environmental destruction? You bulldozed the whole rainforests of this world, dumped oil in oceans, and then said climate change like it was a mystery. And let's not forget, you poisoned your own Europeans during the bubonic plague because y'all didn't believe in using soap. So before you speak on crime statistics, check the colonial body count. Yeah, I want to talk about this irony though. You all want to parent us now? You want to talk to us and talk down to us? You say black folks need to get their act together? Sir, y'all are the original baby's daddies, raping our women, selling our families, and now you're confused about single mothers? Your wives were sipping tea while your children suckled on the breast of black nannies. Did you forget? That's the origin of your wet nurse economy. You stole our families and then had the nerve to blame us for the fracture. That's like robbing a man and breaking his legs and then calling him lazy for limping. And don't come for our music, our art, and our soul. You manufactured the whole hedonism and handed the record deals to those willing to sell their souls for the culture you corrupted. Yeah, you say our rappers don't challenge the rot? You own the labels, genius. But I'm gonna connect those dots from the plantation to the Pentagon, baby. See, it wasn't just slavery. It was the war on drugs, the FBI's COINTELPRO, the Tuskegee experiment, redlining, predatory loans, prison labor, Black Wall Street bombings, and forced sterilization. Oh, did you forget that? You all orchestrated the problem, blamed the victim, and then handed out band-aids and made that BS, okay? Even your DEI talking points are laughable. White women are the primary beneficiaries of affirmative actions. Did you hear that right? You parade black faces for photo shoots, the poster child, while your HR departments remain whiter than sour cream. We see it. But here's the uncomfortable truth, sweetie. We are the blueprint, not the afterthought. We are not just black. We are the descendants of the tribe of Judah, the royal priesthood you've tried to erase. And you know this, which is why your scientists study our DNA, your historians bury our truth, and your politicians silences our speech. You envy our melanin, our rhythm, our brilliance, so you commodify, crucify, and then cosplay it on TikTok. But guess what? You can't colonize the spirit, baby. Here's the inevitable reckoning truth, and the truth don't die, it rises. So here we are, sifting through your smoke screens, unearthing your stolen stories, and refusing to play nice with lies. You're not silenced, so stop it. You're sobered, and that sobering truth is this. You can't cancel us when we are the original signal, the source of the frequency, the soil from which God made humanity. You call us victims, but we are the verdict, and the jury is back. Your father is the father of all lies, but our father, he is the truth that exposes every single one. I need you to kindly exit stage left because your time on the mic is up.
Hello. Hola, hello. Hello.
What did you just say?
Well, there was just a mass shooting at Florida State University, and lo and behold, that was a Charlie Kirk fan. The more that I research this guy, the more he pisses me off. I grew up in the bottom 20% of income earners. I grew up a single mom on an Indian reservation living in a single-wide trailer. And that grew up in the top 20%. People like me, we only have a 6% chance of making it to where Charlie Kirk started. And that has the audacity to lecture us like he knows the struggle of the working class. And not only that is against unions, and he preaches to these college kids to drop out of college, go get a trade job. Well, he's against union, so he wants them to get non-union trade jobs. So that means they're going to be working for 40 years, breaking their body with no retirement. By the time they're 50 years old, he wants to take away their social safety nets. So what the He wants to take away their social safety nets. So what the are they gonna do with the broken body and no safety net? You got a 94% chance of not making it to where Charlie Kirk is. So stay in college, goddamn.
What did you? And I don't really know what MAGA have against poor people or hardworking people. They always choose these people like their saviors. They are like really millionaires and they have so much money. Those are the people that are the saviors of MAGA. Okay, those are the people that they adore. The people that really have a lot of money that they don't have.
This is why nobody trusts white people, okay? The murder of a conservative political figure who does nothing but spew hatred all the time is not a measurement for where America is as a country. Not in the way that you mean it when you say shit like that. There is nothing uniquely horrible about this murder. But white death demands that the world stops. White death demands that suddenly everyone finds their humanity. White death demands that suddenly everyone has to think about what values they hold and how they are complicit. That is what white death demands of people, or that is what white people demand of everybody else when a white person dies. It does not matter who that white person is or what they stand for or who they hurt in their lifetime. That never matters, because the life of a white person who is otherwise also normal is worth more than hundreds, millions of other people's lives. That is not my opinion, but that is the truth of the world we live in. It is so incredibly violent to have a person like that be murdered and then demand sympathy and compassion from the thousands of people that he hurt in his lifetime. And the fact that you cannot understand that is why nobody trusts white people. The audacity to demand compassion and empathy and understanding from the thousands of people that are hurt by him and people like him, people whose rights are taken away, people who live with real actual danger in their everyday lives because of people like him, to demand humanity from them when people like him are murdered. You are insane. You have no backbone. You have no political understanding. You have no social awareness. You are insane. And taking the moral high ground is fucking rich. Not because I'm celebrating this man's murder. I wish the world were a different place where shit like this didn't happen. But unfortunately, I'm very plugged into the reality of the world. I am not as socially unaware as you. But the idea that you hold some sort of moral high ground because you do not understand what it is to be oppressed, and you do not understand what it is to live under the shoe of people like that. So you think you can claim some moral high ground because you are indignant due to a white death? It's fucking disgusting. You are disgusting.
You know who wasn't a DEI hire? The shooter.
I take game and blow that nigga out the frame and like bang. We now know who assassinated Charlie Kirk. His name is Tyler Robinson. He is 22 years old and was taken into custody around 11 p.m. local time in southern Utah last night. He lives in a $600,000 6-bedroom house in Washington, Utah, around 260 miles away from where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was a student at Utah State University on a scholarship because he was a great student. Note that Utah State University is not the university that Charlie Kirk was killed at. It's a completely different university. The assassin allegedly confessed to his father, who is a 27-year veteran of the police force. His father then contacted authorities and secured his son before he was taken into custody. The assassin's mother helps disabled people receive care. The death penalty is on the table for the assassin. Utah is one of the states that allows it.
So the witch that put the curse on Charlie Kirk has spoken out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Jezebel released this article just 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, saying that they paid some Etsy witches to curse him. And obviously they don't want no smoke with the FBI, because since then they've added this editor's note saying this story was published on September 8th. Jezebel condemns the shooting of Charlie Kirk in the strongest possible terms. We do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence of any kind. Now, as far as the nature of the curse, they weren't trying to cause, fatal harm to him in any way. They more so just wanted him to wake up with a zit, right? They wanted his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record, or his socks to always be sliding down on his foot, petty stuff like that. They really just wanted to inconvenience him and ruin his day, which, yeah, mission accomplished. They ordered hexes from 3 different witches, with the third's name being mentioned in the article. Her name is Priestess Lilin, who sent proof of the hex, which was a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curving inward, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous scrunched up little face. She whispered, "I imagine, trust the unseen." This is the Etsy shop that she and another person run, called the Strict Sisters. This is what Priestess Lilin told Metro. I'm just gonna read some of it. "I would like to say first off that a person's life and death always has weight, and we do not celebrate the loss of life." Skipping down, "While we cannot claim literal responsibility for Mr. Kirk's death, we do affirm that the magic we work with is effective. When you work with that in alignment with the collective energy, it can manifest in unthinkable ways. We hope that sums up our stance on this matter. Thank you for visiting our shop." Baby, they're about to make their Q3 numbers and then some, because these sales are about to go all the way through the roof.
Security footage and numerous eyewitness accounts have confirmed that the gunshot rang out from this rooftop location while Kirk was actively speaking. The bullet struck Kirk in the neck, causing him to collapse on the stage. But how did the assassin escape despite the huge crowd? The assailant's use of distance, the campus layout, and what is believed to be a scoped firearm indicate a high degree of planning and precision. The shooter chose an elevated, concealed position to avoid close detection and maximize the chances of escape. Here is the bullet trajectory. Given this altitude, the assassin had a clear, unobstructed line of sight directly to the stage where Charlie Kirk was standing and addressing the crowd. The bullet's trajectory descended steeply and accurately through open space to strike Kirk in the neck, which strongly suggests the use of a scoped firearm designed for long-range precision. As soon as the shot was fired, the gunman likely retreated to an entrance on the top of the building. Despite security efforts, the shooter disappeared without a trace, climbing down from the building and blending into nearby campus structures or escape routes surrounding the Losey Center. Witnesses reported that panic broke out immediately after the shot. The audience scattered, seeking shelter as shouts of "Get down" and "Run" echoed across the courtyard. Campus police and Kirk's personal security team moved swiftly to secure the area and evacuate Kirk.
Dean Withers crying for Charlie Kirk annoys me to no freaking end. Like, Dean Withers used to be one of my favorite content creators, and I unfollowed him after the Unfuck America tour drama. Fortunately for Dean Withers, he is able to find forgiveness and empathy in his heart for Charlie Kirk because he's a white man in America. So the type of rhetoric that Charlie Kirk was spewing, it didn't affect Dean. It didn't affect him. He just chose to stick up for us. For you to have empathy for somebody who would literally be happy if we all were unalived, When I say all, I mean people of color. You can do that. You have that option, you know? So now he's exercising his option to feel empathy for Charlie Kirk. I can't exercise that option because I'm black. Even seeing that little black boy, he looked like he was maybe 12, stopping Charlie Kirk and saying, you don't believe in affirmative action? I wouldn't be here if we didn't have affirmative action. He said exactly. To a kid, they don't even see our kids as humans. Like, this is who you're sticking up for. You know, cry in silence, but don't get on the internet as a leftist content creator with millions of followers and stick up for Charlie Kirk. After the Unfuck America tour, I realized Dean is a fucking clout chaser. He's on the side of whoever's paying him. I feel like Dean is somebody nobody really looked at before, and he was kind of nerdy. And now he has like this gigantic platform, and he's just really feeling himself. I think that's what it is, because even watching his lives, everything is a soundbite. Like, he's literally so freaking performative. Did you get that? Did you get that? Did you clip that? Oh my gosh, this is gonna go viral. Like, yes, he be making some really good points, but he's performative. And get your bag as a content creator, but don't lie and have people out here supporting you looking stupid, especially people of color. The lying is what makes me angry, because it's like following a content creator and finding out that they're not for you at all. It's like, oh wow, I feel stupid. On his live every other second is, oh, thank you for the PayPal. Oh, thank you for the Venmo. Oh, thank you for the Zelle. Like, that's what he's doing it for. Like, honestly, just from watching Dean's lives, I wouldn't even be surprised if he was friends with Charlie Kirk, and that's why this is affecting him so much. Like, that's what I thought of immediately. From watching Dean's lives, I just wouldn't doubt that him and Charlie Kirk were literally friends, and this whole thing was performance. The whole Unfuck America tour, the whole battling Charlie Kirk, I just would not doubt that they were friends. This is what I've gauged from watching Dean's lives. Like, he is that performative that I wouldn't even put it past him. He is such a fucking clout chaser. And something else I wanted to add, a lot of political content creators saying nobody should die over politics, because they literally see this as a job. They say whatever for money, so they see it as nobody should die over this. It's literally like a game to them. This is a social media game to gain a whole bunch of followers and money. It's just another avenue to make money. Just like we have mega churches and fake pastors, they're only in it for the money. They only see this as a business. That's how they see it. So that's why Candace Owen and everybody's like, oh my gosh, nobody should die over their political views. And while nobody should die over their political views, this is the risk you're gonna take doing this type of content. And a lot of things that these political content creators say is rage bait. The goal is to get views, build an audience, and get more money. A lot of times when you hear these outlandish sound bites, it's not even how they really feel. Like Nick Fuentes, you know, it's performative. It's for money. They're saying things to rage bait, to get more followers, to get more views. Like, hello?
You mother animals!
Hey sis, so you seem really emotional right now. And I personally think that it is worth it to have the cost of, unfortunately, a few pew-pew unalivings every single year so that we could all enjoy the Second Amendment. Do you think that sounds harsh? It does, because that's a Charlie Kirk quote. So maybe he took one for the team. You thinking that the left are animals and violent, and then now you suddenly want empathy for Charlie Kirk? Please.
A young man who's never hurted anyone.
I mean, I wonder what could have inspired someone to do something like this. Could it have been his bigotry against the LGBTQ community? His racism? Oh no, his constant stream of harmful, misleading trash and anti-woman nonsense. And as for empathy, didn't he also say that he thinks empathy is the new age term that does a lot of damage? I don't condone violence of any kind, but Charlie did, and he made that clear that he was okay with it. And I sure as hell don't have empathy for someone who openly admits that he doesn't have empathy for anyone else, and I'm pretty okay with that. Now, as for you, did you have the same outrage and anger on January 6th? Or when the vast majority of mass unalivers are cis straight men? Or when Republican extremist pew-pew churches, schools, and Walmarts? Didn't think so. Where was your outrage then? Oh, that's right. You people are only upset when it affects you personally. Hypocrisy looks good on you, sis. Thoughts and prayers.
You don't find it suspicious that Charlie Kirk's murder was seen by everyone? You don't find it suspicious that we in America do not show murders, televised or on social media especially? It's always blurred out. It's always censored. Why have all of us seen it, is my question. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? Because to me, I think that doesn't make much sense. We see people get shot in the arm, we'll see people get shot in the finger, in the ear like Trump was, but not an actual murder. Why did we all see the murder? I think that they did that on purpose. They allowed it to be shared. They didn't give anyone infractions or community guidelines for sharing it because they want you to see it so that you are moved, no matter what side you're on, to fight for justice and consider him a martyr because he's a dad at the end of the day. But I guess people just don't think with their noggins.
Like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Why is that? The data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? A certain skin color now gets their own summertime celebration. Oh wow, look how far blacks have come. It has now become a racial complaining day. Remember what BLM stands for: burn, loot, and murder.
Yeah, DEI stands for one of the biggest.
Didn't earn it, just so we're clear.
Can we also acknowledge, due to the laws under Jim Crow, that black people were significantly hindered from economic advancement?
This is a really important question. The data shows not really. Black Americans are poorer today in 2024 than they were in the 1950s. The disappearance of the black father has been the #1 driver of black poverty in this country. We at least agree that black dads not being around is a bad thing.
Anyone's father not being around is a bad thing. Starting in the 1980s and continuing onward, there's been a war on drugs. Is this correct?
I like the war on drugs. Blacks commit more crimes than whites do. They commit more murders, they commit more arsons, they commit more kidnappings. That's not a war on drugs, that's a culture problem. Why are so many blacks committing murders outside of their population? So we've spent $20 trillion on uplifting black communities, $20 trillion, and black Americans are poor. Food stamps, subsidized housing, Medicaid, public schooling, subsidized college. We're talking about $20 trillion spent on the Great Society, and yet black America is poorer, more murderous, more dangerous.
Part of equity.
Did you notice that the man who attacked Charlie Kirk once debated with him? No one realized it was exactly 3 things Charlie said that pushed him into a crazy act. Authorities just released photos of the suspect in the attack on Charlie. Shockingly, he seems to be the same college student who debated Charlie a few months ago. Back then, 3 details already showed he still held anger toward Charlie's views, which eventually led to the tragedy. The suspect jumped from a rooftop, and his body shape and movements did not match the older men who were first suspected. His face strongly matches that college student. Everything points to him. This student refused to accept Charlie's ideas. He looked completely unconvinced during the debate and still had the desire to fight back. So when Charlie said guns should not be banned, the student used a weapon to attack Charlie, turning his actions into the strongest argument against Charlie. This shows the deep resentment he carried. At the debate, Charlie also argued against abortion, leaving the suspect speechless, and people noticed his face filled with anger. Later, when Charlie condemned the destruction of Tesla stores, the student looked helpless and frustrated. This may have pushed him to plan the attack. When he tried to escape over the rooftop, he injured his ankle. Now, no one knows where he is hiding. So, what do you think about this? May Charlie rest in peace.
Here's how I know
Charlie Kirk touching his nose just before he was shot. Few realized that his past remarks might have already hinted at the tragic outcome. Charlie was interacting with a student during a Q&A when a question about gun violence came up. After touching his nose and picking up the microphone, he answered only to be shot in the neck immediately afterward. Many people were shocked and mourned his death, condemning political violence. Yet, a past statement of his had already sparked public outrage. Back in 2023, after a shooting at a Christian school in Tennessee that left 3 students and 3 adults dead, Charlie commented that the occasional tragic shooting was the cost worth paying to uphold the Second Amendment. This view was widely seen as cold and lacking empathy, especially given that he maintained this stance even after children were killed, drawing significant controversy. However, Charlie was not just a symbol, he was also a husband and father. Many online argued that he shouldn't have died merely because of his beliefs, noting that freedom of speech is increasingly under threat, even from those who claim to support openness and liberty.
I need y'all to pay attention because the fallout from this ain't just about him, it's about us too. Law enforcement saying they found the rifle, shoe prints, a palm print, but no shooter. The conservatives are mad, and when they get mad, they start talking about war, about the left being the enemy, and about retribution. Now, what usually happens when conservatives feel under attack? They don't just aim at their political rivals, they aim straight at us. History shows it. When America becomes scared and shaky, black people become the scapegoats. This has nothing to do with hate, it has everything to do with knowing your history and being knowledgeable. But look at Reconstruction, look at Civil Rights era, look at George Floyd. Every single time that they feel like their world is slipping away from them, they double down on controlling us. This is way bigger than politics. When conservatives feel like they losing control, they start to push laws, policies, and street-level intimidation that hit our communities first. Voter laws, police budgets, all that finna go up. Surveillance. They'll mask it as protecting America, but really it just means policing blackness harder. So don't get it twisted. This is just the fuel that they needed to justify more crackdowns, push more extreme politics, and to paint anybody who questions the system as dangerous. So just stay aware, stay informed, and don't let their rage turn into our punishment.
UVU kind of felled him in a way.
They were just debating about actually gun violence. And I hear like a pop noise, I see his head go back, and I see blood just start to gush out. And I turn around because it sounded like it came from up behind me and above, which it sounds like everybody's saying the same thing. And then I saw everybody going to the ground. So I went to the ground. I wasn't too scared because I wasn't hearing it peppering at that point, but I was traumatized.
I mean, everyone could tell that something was really, really wrong. So everyone ducked. I ducked down with Emma. We were holding each other, and she said a prayer for him and his family, and then we ran along with everyone else.
It hit me when they kind of rushed to Charlie's side after he collapsed. That's when it kind of clicked in my head, and everybody started running around. Before that, I was kind of, I don't know what the word's like, in awe, but just kind of shocked. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I was just shocked. I was just kind of confused. I wasn't sure what was going on.
I think that the school should put into place more protection, because now a lot of students are going to be traumatized or deal with trauma, and they're not going to be able to focus on their schoolwork. And I feel like it's not a safe environment to be holding events like that if you're not ready and prepared to protect the people who are coming to be in those events.
We registered for tickets, but they weren't even looking for tickets. Anyone could just walk in. It was at probably the worst place in campus because there's so many areas where anyone can just walk in. So yeah, I would say the security level, I would say UVU kind of felled him.
We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads.
He's a Republican who hosts these debates at schools where he argues about gender, colorism, the crime rate, what the definitions of what it means to be a man or a woman. He was at Utah doing one of these debates. All you heard was a loud pop, and then you see him go like this. Then you proceed to see.
So when was that video even taken anyway?
So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying? He just ran from over, where's my finger?
So some guy ran up and posted up and crouched on a fucking building, looking at a fucking school, and people didn't report it?
You would right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying? He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in, and now he's right there.
No way, dude!
The best, Mr. Cow.
He is running, this fucking guy. Yo, this fucking bitch ass. So who did they arrest anyway?
Crazy shit. No one deserves to die like that, no matter the side. Love you, XQC.
fine.
Now, Charlie Kirk is gone, but some people refuse to mourn him. A lot of black people and a lot of women refuse to mourn him, myself included. Let's talk about why. He once said, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Moving on to quote number 2. He called George Floyd a scumbag. So all that he's a father, he's a husband, that is out the window because George Floyd was a father too. That the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a huge mistake, and that's the very law protecting black people and women from discrimination. When it comes to women, he repeatedly fought against their rights, dismissing feminism, saying they shouldn't have equal pay, even saying they shouldn't have abortion access. He even said Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was awful, discrediting someone who fought for equality, who both black men and women benefited from today. That's tough. Now, he said all these things and y'all act like y'all surprised that nobody wants to mourn him. He made himself a villain. Whoever cries when a villain dies? Rest in peace, though.
This conversation is for Christians and Christians only, so come in and lock the doors of the church. I am trying so hard not to be frustrated and saddened. I want to stop talking about this Charlie Kirk situation, but you guys won't let me. This whole rhetoric around the fact that he died for his Christian beliefs. Number one, how do you know that? Did the sniper tell you that he was sniped because he was a Christian? Number two, are we separating his racism from his Christianity, or are we rolling it into one? I am a Christian. I was saved at the age of 10 years old, accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Y'all got me stuttering because I get so mad. I get so mad about this conversation and a certain group of Christians thinking they own Christ, thinking they own relationship with God, thinking that God himself is a white Jesus, blue-eyed baby Jesus. I accepted Christ as a young age. I was baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, dunked underneath the water. Twice, actually. But yet, I don't have the same views that Charlie Kirk had. I don't believe that he was someone that advocated for peace. I do not, in any shape, form, or fashion, think that he thought all people were equal. So this whole comparison to him and MLK, stop. Stop. I don't think he should have been either. But not only do I not really have seen evidence of his Christianity other than him saying that he is, I don't even know if he was a good person, y'all. I'm sorry. Come for me. Come for me. Come for me. Because as a black woman, everything he ever said about me or people that look like me was detrimental, inhumane, and negative. Most of it was lies. Everyone should have the right to speak their truth to small audiences, large audiences, Christians, non-Christians. No one should be physically assaulted for doing that. But we see it happen all the time. When college students try to protest Israel, what happens to them? Why is it justified in some cases, but not all? I don't try to judge and determine who is saved. Everybody work at their own soul salvation. But I do think that you should have fruit of the Spirit. Humility, kindness, gentleness, love, self-control, gentleness. Is it loving? Is it loving to believe that black people are less intelligent, less capable than non-black people? Is it gentle to believe that for everyone to have the right to have pew-pews, that some people have to die? They just have to be sacrificed. I think the irony is y'all are trying to compare him to MLK. Do y'all know that he said that MLK was awful and not a good person? So maybe he is like MLK. Come for me. I don't care anymore. Just being quiet and trying to play the model minority has not gotten anybody anywhere. So let's just be who we are. Smart, capable, intellectual. Let's be the spiritual, God first people that we are. Do you ever wonder why most black Christians do not espouse the same views as white conservative Christians? Why do you think that is? Why have you made excuses for Trump and his poor behavior, his foul language, his against women? Why are your morals so gone? Where is your character anymore? Just saying that you are with no faith without works is dead. Just saying that you're a good person, just saying that you're a Christian, not fighting for the least of them, not advocating for everyone to be equal because we are in the eyes of God. Get out of here with that. He is a martyr. He died for his beliefs. How do you know that? He thought the Civil Rights Act of the 1960s was a bad idea, was something that should not have happened. The Civil Rights Act that made it illegal to discriminate against people because of their race, which has been happening for years. You think there's a wealth gap because black people are less capable, less smart, less able, less intelligent, less creative, have less work ethic? That's not why there's a wealth gap. It's because generations of people got a head start by having access to property and to real estate and to loans and money and to building businesses that were built on the back of people that did it for free. If black folks today had credit for all the work that they did, all the labor they performed, all the homes they built, all the land they plowed, socioeconomics wouldn't look the way that they look. And there's no black on black crime. There's no such thing. There is crime against people that lack resources that happen to live in probably the same few square miles of each other. You find it in every community that lacks resources. It just so happens that there's a big wealth gap that has congregated a lot of poor black people at the bottom. It's not about being black. Just like Kirk being, by who he was, wasn't about him being white. The shooter was white, from what we can see. I'm done. I can't.
Like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live what I believe. No. What do? I get charity every single year.
Crime, like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Because of DEI, it begs the question, when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily. No one really cares when it's HR managers. No one cared when it was, just kind of paper shufflers or even engineers. But now when it's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black.
And yes, we just made it towards the end of this video. Please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow and helps other people to find my content and my video. What do you guys think? Comment below. What do you guys think the whole situation of Charlie Kirk? Okay, what do you guys think about it? What do you think about the whole MAGA movement? And in some people, they have already some people that is a Democrat that they had died because of gun violence, and they didn't make such a big of the deal, and they just made such a big of the deal with this guy. Okay, comment below. You guys take care. Thank you. Bye bye.